Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello traders, checking in on the broader markets, and on these charts that we're about to look at, the line that I have drawn is the line in the sand level. So if you want to be keeping track of the most important daily support level, because oftentimes if we're zoomed in on the chart, we can forget the bigger picture. This is the kind of thing where I would have a notepad next to my computer and I would write down the most important levels on the daily time frame. So where SPY stands, weekday in the sense that we closed at the low of the day, after hours we're up 60 cents or so, so a little bit of a recovery after hours, which pretty much the recovery after hours is putting us right in the middle of today's range. But what took place overnight in the S&P 500 futures chart, we closed yesterday weak, and the bulls controlled the entirety of the extended hours session. So again, if I were going to be, I said it in the recent video, if I were going to be trading actively and aggressively in this market, futures trading is where it's at with that kind of move. If I had any size in my bearish position, I would be hurting big time today, and I wouldn't have been able to stop out overnight, which is why I stay small positions in extended hours, or I should say overnight in swing trading, because of this. So with the weakness that we saw, yes, it is notable for the short-term action, but you look at the 4-hour chart on the S&P 500 futures chart, and we're just looking for a higher low to form now compared to the low of yesterday, 28.30. Tons of space to do so. I did stop out of my short position that I began establishing. Ended up with a half-day loser on that because we did break to a higher high. Didn't get a whole lot of follow-through, but going to respect my stop loss. And I will look to make back that half-day loser tomorrow with some day trade flipping, which is certainly my preference. But when I'm making mistakes, I want them to be very small. Keeping that risk very small is the name of the game. Could we see the S&P 500 roll over from here and still break support? Yes, I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think we have to wait till next week before we're going to get some short-term clarity. Could this be a head and shoulders on the daily where we just roll over and break 279.13 support and confirm the daily downtrend? Yes, that is absolutely possible. And if I'm wrong, by being stopped out, I will leave money on the table. I will not lose money. And again, that's the way that I like to trade. My mistakes are leaving money on the table, my net worth and account value stays the same, and I go after the next trade. So we'll see if the bears can prove it to us. 279.13, the line in the sand level, heading into next week. IWM. So IWM, the line in the sand level, 122.25. A little bit of unclear action the last couple days. So we would have to see the bears pretty much. We know the burden of proof is on the bears on these daily time frames. So if we want to make a very clear, simple statement to stay focused, we can say if IWM does not break 122.25 support, the bulls keep complete control. And we can say the same thing for SPY on the 279 support that we just looked at. QQQ, higher highs. We know they're the strongest out of anybody in the sector. One more note, and thanks for pointing it out in the comments of the video yesterday. SPY has changed its holdings. So SPY holdings are now 30% tech sector, 15% healthcare sector, 13% financial sector. So that is a shift. The financials are no longer the number 2 holdings, and they're just trimming the weak and adding the strong, and that's helping keep it propped up. But that is a notable change that has taken place. So for QQQ, which is mostly tech, we are looking at anything above 211.12 as just a daily high or low. Bulls have 4.5%, 5% to be working with at this point, and they're keeping full control. We can say as long as 211.12 does not break, the bulls have complete control. And that's why we're calling these our line in the sand levels, because nothing changes unless they break. XLV, could this be a head and shoulders? Yes, we've been watching it for a week at this point, and bears are going to have to break the line in the sand level of 96.89. This is a lower high being set. Bulls need to hold 96.89 and break 162 to negate the head and shoulders pattern. But we've closed weak the last 2 days, and we are certainly just a couple percent away from that level, so that is in play. XLF, we already broke our line in the sand level of 2144. Big bounce today, and actually the financial sector was accounting for a lot of the market strength, up 2.3%, while QQQ was up half of that. But anything under 2228 is just a daily lower high. So 2228, key short-term resistance. We didn't break that level today. And overall, we know XLF is one of our weakest sectors. Biotech right up at resistance, but a double top, and at this point it's a triple top, all within 51 cents of $100 psychological resistance. So 99.79, we rejected from that level by 30 cents yesterday. We rejected from that level by 22 cents today. And the bears have to break the low of today tomorrow, 97.61, to follow through. If we get that, we'll be watching a 4-hour equilibrium, and we'll look for a higher low compared to 89.45. But the bears have to knock off the pattern of a higher low every day to see that daily lower high clearly set, and to then look for the higher low to form. But the line in the sand level of 89.45, a long ways away, bulls still well above that level. SMH, could it be a head and shoulders? Yes, but we need to top out soon, and we need to roll over to our line in the sand level, 126.11, the most important support. Daily downtrend confirmed if it breaks, and if it holds, the daily uptrend will remain intact. TLT, again, lack of clarity for me on this name for a while now. We've lost the weekly uptrend. 163.48 was support, but right after breaking that support yesterday, we see a huge bull day today and fill that gap real quick. So whenever I see a chart that is not clear, I don't trade it, because there are thousands of charts out there, and I know that if one chart is unclear to me, it won't take me too long to find a chart that is clear, and I'll focus on that. So TLT definitely falls into the category of unclear for me personally. The only clear thing about it is I know that we're looking for a lower high compared to 170.26 on the daily time frame. And if the bulls are going to convincingly regain control, we'll have to top out on this bounce, form a higher low, and change the daily trend. So that's going to take a while to develop. Great bounce over the last 2 days, absolutely, but we did just lose weekly support. The VIX is fading back down. Again, 30.50 is the key level in the short term, and technically we broke it by 10 cents, but we're right around this base. Bulls would have to turn right around and get over 40.30 for any kind of long-term momentum shift. Otherwise, the slow fade continues, and those who are familiar trading the volatility sector know that this slow fade is very common with what happens in the VIX after huge spikes. Just slow fade. Look back at January 2018, huge spike, slow fade for months. Big spike in the end of 2018, slow fade for months. So we're definitely in this slow fade phase, and we'll see how long that lasts. The dollar, I'm still considering this an equilibrium. Yes, we did break 98.82 support, but it was on 1 5-minute candle at the end of the week, and I'm still treating this as an equilibrium. So we're looking for a lower high compared to 187, little toppy today. If the low of today breaks tomorrow, that daily lower high will be set, and we'll look for a bit of a pullback, and that's good timing for the gold bulls who are on the verge of breaking daily uptrend support. 1670 was a key level, but we held it at 1682. Solid bull break today, and now we're just looking right back up at our two key resistances, 1739, 1748. I am still in my GLD position, not stopped out. Good save by the bulls. So we'll see if we can get follow through. This is the tightest range that we've seen in gold, and all we have to do is look back. When was gold this tight? And we can see it's been roughly 5 months. So we know to be expecting here mid to late May a volume and volatility spike in gold. The trend overall certainly favors the bulls. Doesn't mean it will be a bull break, but as long as these higher lows continue, that is the direction. Again, line in the sand level. Market on gold, it's now 1682, and if 1682 is holding, the bulls have complete control. Silver, bull break as well, short-term resistance, 1551, and then we're looking at the top of 1585. New most important support level for me on silver would be 1471. Over the last 4 days, that was our low. Miners. So quick consolidation yesterday, just a little daily inside bar. We broke it bullish and we headed to higher highs. So the miners are certainly continuing their full control, and that will likely be the case as long as gold maintains daily higher lows. We have a new little short-term support at 33.37. The most important support for me is 31.31. But again, we're in an area with a lack of resistance. We've got to go back 7 years, and we're looking in the 36s from there. So bulls keeping their control. Big green day today, healthy consolidation at the end of the day, potential hourly bull flag, and even if it's not an hourly bull flag, we'll still be looking for an hourly higher low compared to the low of today. Oil. So oil finally topped out. There was a really nice top fishing play there at resistance. 27.95 was that resistance, and look at the hourly time frame. If I am bottom fishing support or top fishing resistance, I want the price to be as extended as possible on as many time frames as possible when we get there. So I look at this hourly chart, and going from 25 straight up to the upper 27s, that's a 10% move with no hourly consolidation. That's exactly what I want to see on a top fish. The 15-minute RSI at that point in time was up in the 80s, the mid 80s. So we're overextended on the 15-minute, the hourly, and again, the trade is just a very low-risk trade. If I go bearish at 27.70 and I put my stop over 28 psychological, I'm risking just over 1%, and we know with the volatility oil has been seeing recently that there's certainly usually moves far greater than 1%, and in this instance, we pulled back a lot from that resistance. So daily consolidation is underway. We are looking for a daily higher low compared to 1027, absolutely. But the hourly is going to be our guide now, and the next time we bounce, we know to be anticipating an hourly lower high compared to 27.77. Let's see how USO is trading, because it is not only trading off of the June futures contract. USO is getting a little bit toppy as well, 21.79, and today was 21.91, so we did get a higher high, but not by much, and we closed weak down at the low. So there's a little gap at 1968 to be watching. We know that even with this bounce, we were just looking for a weekly lower high, and it's not even showing up on the USO chart because it's dropped so much. But I would say the USO bulls really want to hold 1836 to try and keep this bounce momentum going. And if 1836 breaks, bears are back in complete control. Hourly RSI, not oversold yet. 2030 was the low, almost a double bottom at the low of the day. And that's a potential support to play off of tomorrow, depending on what the setup is. We're going to have a whole bunch of hours trading overnight, which will change the setup. That's the kind of thing that I wake up early tomorrow and check first thing and see, can I establish a trade game plan off of that support level that I like? And I haven't been trading commodities recently personally, aside from my buy and hold GLD position. So for me, I'm not going to be interested in that oil trade. So natural gas, we know we're looking for a daily higher low compared to 171. The 4-hour time frame set a lower high at 1896, so that's resistance. And the bulls have to regain the 4-hour trend in their favor for a daily higher low to be set. So it's all about 171. That's the line in the sand for natural gas as we head into the end of the week here. So again, not anticipating a ton of action tomorrow as far as our key daily levels are concerned. You know, I don't expect to break 279 or 294.88. And it's going to be up to next week. Here come the SPY bulls, bouncing at this point now, smack dab in the middle of the day's range. So, burden of proof remains on the bears. I hope you're well. We're not going to end it with a nature video today. Today is a day for mourning. Unfortunately, got some bad news. Been observing Mama Duck sitting on a nest somewhere based on her behavior, and generally they'll lay their nest away from where they're going to raise their babies, and then they walk with the babies from there to the pond. And she showed up yesterday limping, walking to the pond, which she has never done. So, unfortunately, and then they slept. Mom and dad are together, but they both slept here in this pond for the first time in weeks and weeks. And it was really cold last night, so she certainly didn't just abandon her eggs. I think something either got the eggs or got the freshly hatched babies as she was walking them to the pond. She's a little shaken up. I'm not sure if her wing is hurt because she wasn't flying. Her leg is definitely hurt, but I don't think it is serious. I think it's going to heal. And I remember when she was a baby, one of her siblings had a hurt foot for a while as well, and that healed up. So this poor duck has had a tough life. She watched her mom get taken by a predator last year, right before I moved in here. So dad raised her and 7 or 6 other siblings. And now, I think year 1, she's not going to have babies. It's a bummer, but it's nature. So I'll keep you posted on that. And I'll see you all next week.